bow our head in silent prayer.
請大家低頭默禱。
Amen.
Amen.
Begin, Lord Jesus, with tonight's service by singing hymn 165.
啊，嚟到我哋奉將聖名開始今晚嘅聚會，我哋奉將讚美詩165首。我哋未開始之前，我哋一同嚟拜下禱告，求神嚟帶領我哋。我哋一同奉將聖名拜下禱告。
In the name of Lord Jesus Christ, we pray.
奉主耶穌基督聖名禱告。
In the name of Lord Jesus Christ, I speak.
奉主耶穌聖名講話。
We thank God for giving us another opportunity to study the book of Psalms.
我哋再感謝神，讓我哋再次有機會嚟一起學習呢個嘅詩篇。
For tonight, we are going to look at Psalm 124.
咁今晚我哋去睇呢個詩篇嘅124篇嘅。
Now, the chapter before, that is Psalm 1, 2, 3, talks about asking God for His mercy.
咁之前嘅一篇123篇係我哋去求神你去憐憫我哋嘅。
The writer or the psalmist was very determined to pray for God's mercy to come upon them.
呢個詩人佢好渴望神嘅憐憫能夠去臨到佢嘅身上。
We mentioned yesterday that there was a specific context given in this psalm.
咁喺呢首詩篇入邊係有呢個特別嘅呢個嘅內容喺度嘅。
From the second part of the chapter, we are told that the psalmist and probably his companions were exceedingly filled with contempt.
因為喺呢篇詩嘅下半段嗰度咧，呢個詩人同佢同伴們佢哋係被人哋嚟去藐視到呢個極處嘅。
They were mocked, they were scorned.
佢哋俾人哋去欺負，俾人哋去凌辱嘅。
So and when you read the book of Psalms, the contempt that they could receive, the extreme contempt is when people challenge them by asking them, "Where is your God?"
咁佢哋面對嘅呢啲嘅藐視到極處，就係因為當呢啲人問佢哋話：你哋嘅神究竟喺邊度咧
？Most likely, this some probably the background was about the captivity.
呢個嘅呢首詩嘅背景就係講到呢啲人被擄嘅時候所發生嘅事情。
When the nation of Israel was being overpowered by their enemies.
或者呢啲選民佢哋被呢啲敵人嚟去打敗嘅時候。
So we also mentioned about this will happen, can happen to us as well.
我哋亦都提到喺末日嘅時候，呢啲嘅事情都會發生喺我哋嘅身上㗎。
We made a reference to the great tribulations mentioned by Jesus Christ.
我哋會面對主耶穌所提到嘅呢啲嘅大患難嘅呢啲嘅來臨㗎。
That's why in the gospel, especially like the Gospel of Matthew.
所以喺福音書裏邊，特別喺呢個馬太福音嘅書裏邊。
Jesus warned the disciples. Actually, he was warning us that when you see the abomination of desolation, standing in the temple, then you should practically run for your life.
嗰個學閃回開卻真嘅，如果你睇到你再會嗰個聖殿嘅時候，你逃命。
主耶穌喺呢個馬太福音裏邊話：你若果係睇到呢個行可憎嘅壞事嘅人喺呢個聖殿裏邊嘅時候，你就要逃命啦。
And you know that this abomination of desolation was first stated by Daniel.
咁呢個行可憎之物嘅呢個事情係首先係呢個但以理先知所預言到嘅。
So when you look at the context of the book of Daniel, initially the abomination of desolation is like an object, being placed in the temple.
咁喺但以理書嗰度提到話呢個可憎之物呢個嘢就好似一個物件擺喺呢個聖殿裏邊一樣。
Quite clearly, it refers to a form of idolatry.
呢個好清楚就係嚟去預表一個呢個偶像嘅呢個形式嘅。
Now, when we come to the New Testament, Jesus is no longer talking about an object; he is talking about a person.
但係嚟到呢個新約嘅時代，耶穌所講嘅已經唔係再係呢個偶像嘅事情啦，已經係一個人。
So it's like someone has sneaked into the church and placed an object of idolatry in the church, or has come into the temple of God to introduce to the believers of God another form of belief.
就係有人嚟去偷入嚟教會呢邊嚟去將呢個嘅偶像嚟去放喺個教會呢邊，或者係有呢個嘅有人將呢個嘅一個嘅新嘅呢個嘅教嘅道理嚟去帶進呢個嘅 聖殿裏邊嚟去傳俾呢啲嘅信徒們㗎。
We turn to Matthew,
我哋睇下呢個馬太福音嘅
Matthew chapter 24.
馬太福音嘅24章，
We read verse 15.
我睇15節。
Chapter 24, verse 15.
24章嘅15節嘅。
Therefore, when you see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet standing in the holy place, whoever reads, let him understand.
15節，你們看見先知但以理所說的那行毀壞可憎的站在聖地，讀這經的人必須要會意。
Now here he says, whoever reads, let him understand.
呢度話提到讀呢個經嘅人，佢需要嚟去明白到。
Meaning that everyone must try to understand, what Jesus is saying.
意思就係話每個人都要嚟去嘗試明白主耶穌所講嘅係乜嘢嘅意思。
Again, the word in the gospel, the word understanding in the gospel refers to, fearing God. We are able to understand the word of God because we fear Him.
呢個明白呢個字眼喺呢個福音書裏邊，其實嘅意思就係話我哋要嚟去嚟去敬畏神嘅。呢個明白咗神嘅道理之後，就要曉得嚟去嚟去敬畏神。
So is our understanding comes from this heart of fearing God.
我哋嘅明白呢個知識就係嚟自呢個嚟去敬畏神嘅。
Sometimes we read, we don't understand because in the first place we don't fear God.
有時候我哋讀嗰時候，我哋唔明白，因為我哋起初嘅時候，我哋冇嚟去敬畏神。
So we find that this abomination of desolation will come.
所以呢個毀壞可憎嘅會嚟到嘅。
It will cause a lot of contempt to us.
咁呢個會帶俾我哋好多嘅呢個嘅呢個嘅毀壞嘅。
We turn back to Psalms 124.
我哋翻嚟呢個嘅詩篇嘅124篇。
This psalm was written by David.
呢首詩亦都係大衛所寫嘅。
It's like here he gives thanks to God for his providence, or we say providential care.
呢度就佢嚟去感謝神對佢呢種嘅保護同埋幫助嘅。
Now, if you read from verse 1,
如果你從第一節嚟睇佢
here it says, if it had not been the Lord who was on our side, let Israel now said, if it has not been the Lord who was on our side, when men rose up against us, then they would have swallowed us alive. When their wrath was kindled against us.
第一節以色列人要說，若不是耶和華幫助我們，若不是耶和華幫助我們，當人起來攻擊我們，向我們發怒的時候，就把我們活活的吞了。
The history of the chosen people has thrown up many examples of how God's people were oppressed and were severely persecuted.
咁我哋睇到呢個選民嘅歷史，就係話神嘅兒女們佢哋係常常被呢啲仇敵嚟去壓迫嚟去攻擊㗎。
Time and again, God has to stretch out His hand to deliver them.
咁一次又一次，神要嚟去伸出佢大能嘅手嚟去拯救佢哋㗎。
Find that David actually understood this very well.
咁呢度我哋發覺到大衛佢係好明白呢一點㗎。
So the entire nation of Israel could have been wiped out, from the face of the planet Earth if God has not protected them.
如果係神唔幫助佢哋嘅話，整個呢個嘅以色列民族可能會喺呢個地上面去消失啦。
Now I want you to look at verse 4 and verse 5.
我哋睇下第4同埋第5節嘅。
Here it talks about waters of flood or stream.
呢度提到呢啲嘅河水或者呢啲嘅溪水嚟去。
Verse 5 says the swollen waters.
第5節睇到話呢啲狂傲嘅水嚟去淹沒。
And would have gone over our soul. And in the English, the word is soul. And I think the Chinese is life.
呢度英文就話淹沒我哋嘅靈魂㗎。
Now, so it's not just about, it's not talking about the physical water. It's talking about like, you know, things that could really destroy, that could really drown our spiritual life.
呢度唔係講呢個物質嘅水嘅，係話一啲嘅事情或者事物會嚟去淹沒我哋嘅呢個嘅靈命嘅。
Now we will look at some examples from the scriptures later on.
咁我哋遲啲會嚟係睇一啲嘅經文嚟㗎。
So David was very thankful to God.
所以大衛佢係好感謝神㗎。
Here it says in verse 6, "Blessed be the Lord who has not given us as prey to their teeth."
第六節話神是應當稱頌的，他沒有把我們當嘢食交給他們吞吃。
Meaning that he has not allowed his own people to be completely destroyed.
意思就話神冇讓佢嘅選民完全被嚟去毀滅㗎。
Now when you look at verse 7, it's like he is talking about himself.
當你睇第7節嘅時候，佢就好似講到佢自己啦。
Our soul has escaped as a bird from the snare of the fowlers. The snare is broken and we have escaped.
第7節話：我們好像雀鳥從捕鳥人的網羅裏逃脫，網羅破裂啦，我們逃脫了。
Now initially he was talking about Israel.
起初嘅佢係提到呢個以色列嘅。
Then in the second part, it talks about himself and probably others as well.
到後來嘅時候，佢喺度好似講自己同埋有啲其他嘅人。
How God has helped them escape from the snare of the fowlers.
就好似神點樣嚟去從呢啲捕鳥嘅人網羅中嚟去救佢哋嘅。
So the conclusion is that their help is in the name of the Lord who made heaven and earth.
所以個結論就係話佢哋嘅幫助就係嚟自創造天地呢個嘅神嘅名㗎。
This is like a repeat of chapter 121 verse 2.
呢個就好似141篇呢個嘅第一節嗰度所講嘅，第二節所講嘅。
My help comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth.
佢話我嘅幫助嚟自造天地萬物嘅呢個嘅神嘅。
So now we are going to look at some example from the Bible and to see how God, has saved his people, his chosen people.
咁如果我哋從呢個聖經裏邊睇一啲例子嚟睇下神點樣嚟去拯救佢嘅選民嘅。
I think it is also important for us to find out the reason, for God to save them.
亦都係我哋需要嚟去明白到神拯救佢哋嘅原因係乜嘢㗎。
Now I want you to turn back. I want you to look at what is it? Genesis.
我哋睇下呢個嘅創世記嘅。
We turn to the book of Genesis.
睇下呢個創世記。
Genesis chapter 35.
創世記嘅35章。
Now after Jacob has come out from his uncle's house.
當呢個雅各從佢嘅舅父嘅家出嚟嘅時候，
he prayed to God, and he seized hold of God and to make sure that God would bless him.
咁佢就嚟去求神，佢嚟去求神嚟去幫助。
And because he had to meet up with his brother Esau.
因為佢要你去同佢嘅哥哥以掃見面㗎。
He was very afraid at the time.
當時佢係好懼怕嘅。
So he prayed throughout the night.
所以佢整夜嚟去禱告。
So finally, his faith is was strengthened. He was able to seize hold of God.
到最後佢就個信心得到堅固，因為佢能夠找緊神啦。
So he met his brother.
所以佢
without much fear.
所以佢後來佢存着冇懼怕嘅心嚟去見佢嘅。
And so after that, Jacob and his family and obviously his children, came to a place called Shechem.
咁當呢個雅各同埋佢嘅家人呢啲子女等等嚟到呢個地方叫示劍嘅時候。
So a very unfortunate incident has happened.
咁有一個好不幸嘅事情發生啦。
So his daughter was violated.
咁佢呢個女兒被侮辱啦。
And obviously, Simeon and Levite were furious because they were like, blood brothers to Dinah.
咁呢個西面同埋呢個利未就
好嬲，
佢哋好嬲怒啦。
因為佢哋係親弟兄姊妹。
因為佢哋係親兄妹嚟噶。
So and they came up with a plot and slaughtered all these Shechemites.
佢哋想咗個計劃就嚟去殺害呢啲所有嘅呢個嘅事件嘅男丁啦。
Now I want you to read chapter 34.
我睇下呢個34章嘅。
We read verse 30.
我睇30節。
Then Jacob said to Simeon and Levite, "You have troubled me by making me obnoxious amongst the inhabitants of the land, amongst the Canaanites and the Perizzites, and since I am few in number, they will gather themselves together against me and kill me. I shall be destroyed, my household and I."
30節，雅各對西面和利未說：你們連累我，使我在這地的居民中，就是在迦南人和比利洗人中有了臭名。我的人丁既然稀少，他們必聚集來攻擊我，我和全家的人都必滅絕。
So at that time, Jacob knew that his family could be destroyed.
喺嗰個時候，雅各知道佢嘅家人可能會被滅絕啦。
Because the family was small, not with a great number.
因為佢哋嘅家人嘅人丁稀少。
So how could Jacob and his family fight against the locals, the Canaanites?
雅各佢同佢家人點樣能夠嚟去敵對呢啲嘅事件人呢？
That's why in his heart he knew that he and the family could be destroyed.
所以喺佢嘅心中，佢感受到佢同佢嘅家人可能會被嚟滅絕啦。
We know that Jacob was the chosen person of the Lord.
我哋知道雅各係神所揀選嘅人嚟噶。
So and his descendant and his children form part of the community of God.
咁佢嘅呢個嘅後裔佢嘅兒子們亦都係神嘅選民嘅嚟噶。
And we understand that the promise of the Lord to covenant to Abraham is that his descendant shall occupy the land.
咁神對亞伯拉罕講話，佢嘅後裔會嚟去住喺呢個嘅應許嘅地嘅。
So here you find that they were facing like a real danger.
所以從呢度我睇到佢哋當時係面對一個危險嘅情況㗎。
A possible destructions of the family.
可能全家人都會被殺害㗎。
Now in chapter 35.
咁喺35章嗰度。
I want you to first read verse 5.
我哋首先讀第5節嘅。
And the journey and the terror of God was upon the cities that were all around them, and they did not pursue the sons of Jacob.
第5節，他們便起行前往，神使那周圍的城邑的人都驚懼，就不追趕雅各的眾子了。
You find that here God delivered Jacob and his household.
從呢度睇到神係嚟去拯救雅各全家嘅。
So the inhabitants of the land did not pursue them.
喺嗰個地方嘅人，佢哋冇嚟去繼續嚟去追趕佢哋啦。
Now the question is, why did God save them?
問題就係話點解神要嚟去拯救佢哋咧
？We understand that because God wanted this Jacob to return to Bethel.
我哋明白到神係想呢個雅各翻返去呢個伯特利嘅。
That was the place where Jacob first met God.
呢個就係雅各最初嚟去見到神嘅地方。
Obviously, you see that this Jacob obeyed.
我哋睇到呢個雅各佢係順從嘅。
The other reason is in verse 2.
第二個原因係喺第2節嘅。
I want you to read verse 2.
第2節。
And Jacob said to his household and to all who were with him, "Put away the foreign gods that are among you, purify yourself and change your garments."
第2節，雅各對他家中的人並一切與他同住的人說：你們要除掉你們中間的外邦神，也要自潔更換衣裳。
These are the things that they did.
所以呢啲就係佢哋要所做嘅事情。
So they first put away all the foreign gods.
首先佢就除去呢啲一切嘅外邦神啦。
And then purify themselves.
跟住佢哋要嚟去自潔。
And change their garments.
跟住嚟去更換呢個衣裳。
Now, what do these mean?
究竟呢啲係代表咩意思咧
？Meaning they must no longer worship other gods.
意思就係話佢哋唔再嚟去送奉其他嘅神啦。
They must worship God wholeheartedly.
佢哋要嚟去敬拜呢個嘅獨一嘅神啦。
They must purify themselves from within.
佢哋要喺內身循住內身嚟去自潔啦。
And also change their behavior. Garments represents behavior.
跟住佢哋要嚟去更換衣裳，就係代表佢哋嘅行為啦。
The lessons here is something that we can learn.
呢度嘅教訓就係話我哋需要嚟去學習到嘅。
Sometimes, in our life we may encounter difficulties beyond ourselves to solve.
有時候我哋喺我哋生活當中，我哋會面對一啲嘅困難係超過我哋能夠嚟去面對㗎。
Even in the church, sometimes we find that there are problems that cannot be put away. It's like they linger on.
甚至喺教會裏邊亦都有啲嘅問題或者係困難係我哋唔能夠解決係咁不斷緊嚟去延續落去。
You find that these problems are affecting the church badly.
你發覺如果呢啲問題就會嚟影響對教會好大嘅影響嘅。
We believe that if God does not stretch out His hand to help us, then the church will be in a very bad place.
若果我哋係咁樣，若果神唔伸出佢手嚟去幫助解決嘅時候，呢個會使到教會就會變得好壞啦。
So what should we do?
咁我哋應該要點樣去做咧
？First, we must keep faith in God. Must have faith in God.
首先，我哋必須對神有呢種嘅信心。
Secondly, we must follow the example as shown by Jacob.
第二，我哋必須要嚟去效法雅各喺呢度所做嘅事情啦。
Put away the foreign gods.
就係將呢啲一切嘅呢啲外邦神嚟去除去。
Sometimes we find that it's like we are more important than God. The I is more important than God.
有時候我哋覺得自己係比神更重要嘅。
My viewpoints are more important than the teachings of God.
我自己嘅旨意嘅意見係比神嘅呢個教導更重要嘅。
All this must be put aside, put away.
呢一切我哋都要將佢嚟去除去。
Cleanse ourselves from within.
我哋再從我哋嘅內在嚟去潔淨自己。
Sometimes you find that our hearts may not be pure.
有時候我哋發覺我哋嘅心唔能夠得到潔淨。
Our hearts are filled with impurities.
我哋心係充滿呢啲嘅不潔淨嘅事情㗎。
Filled with wickedness or even malice.
充滿呢啲嘅惡毒嘅。
So it has to be cleansed.
所以呢啲一切我哋要嚟去將佢
It
潔
has to
淨。
be cleansed out from our hearts.
我哋要從我哋嘅內心裏邊嚟去潔淨。
You find that sometimes our behavior may not be right.
有時候我哋
in the sight of God.
我哋發覺到我哋嘅行為喺神嘅眼中係唔正確嘅。
We need to change our behavior.
我哋要嚟去改變我哋嘅行為。
When we begin to transform ourselves by the power of the Spirit.
當我哋藉著聖靈嘅能力嚟去改變過嚟嘅時
You
候，
find that God will preserve our family.
我發覺到神係會保守我哋嘅家人嘅。
And God will preserve the church.
神亦都會保守教會嘅。
We know that God is the Almighty God.
我哋知道我哋所相信嘅神係全能嘅神。
He has the power to preserve our family and to preserve the church.
佢有呢個能力嚟去保守我哋嘅家人同埋我哋嘅教會。
But the important thing is we must change ourselves.
但係最重要就係話我哋必須要嚟去改變自己。
When you see a very difficult problems in the church.
當我哋睇到教會面對一個好困難嘅問題嘅時候，
We must not first look at others. We must look into ourselves.
我哋首先唔好嚟去睇別人，我哋首先要睇自己。
According to the scriptures, when our relationship with God is right.
聖經按照聖經所提到嘅，如果我哋同神嘅關係係正確嘅，
Then God will give us the wisdom, to make a proper discernment.
咁神係會俾我哋呢個智慧嚟去讓我哋作出一個正確嘅呢個決定㗎。
For us to know what is good and what is not good.
讓我哋知道乜嘢係好，乜嘢係唔好㗎。
So in this way, our soul will not suffer.
咁樣我哋嘅靈魂就唔會嚟去受苦啦。
So you find that this is one example.
我哋發覺呢個就係其中一個嘅例子。
The other example is the Exodus generation.
另外一個例子就係呢個出埃及呢個嘅個時代嘅人啦。
You know that God led them, out of Egypt by the hands of Moses.
我哋知道神係藉著摩西嘅手嚟去帶領佢哋出埃及㗎。
So in chapter 14,
喺呢個14
Exodus chapter 14,
出埃及嘅14章嗰度，
it's like they had come to a dead end.
就好似佢哋嚟到一個呢個嘅絕路咁樣。
At the back, they were being pursued by the soldiers, the armies of Pharaoh.
喺後邊嘅佢哋被呢個嘅法老嘅兵丁嚟去追趕着。
Right in front of them was the Red Sea.
喺佢哋前邊就係呢個紅海啦。
So they had come to a dead end.
所以佢哋嚟到呢一條絕路啦。
It's like they were impossible to escape. No way out.
就好似話佢哋冇辦法嚟去逃脫啦，冇呢個出路啦。
And now you find that because of Moses,
但係你發覺到因為摩西嘅緣故，
the chosen one of God,
神所揀選嘅人，
he demonstrated the mighty power of God through faith.
佢藉著佢嘅信心嚟顯出神呢種嘅大能出嚟。
I want you to read Exodus chapter 14.
我哋大家讀下14章，出埃及嘅14章。
Exodus chapter 14.
出埃及嘅14章嘅。
Verse 13.
我哋睇13節。
Verse 13.
13節嘅。
And Moses said to the people, "Do not be afraid. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord, which He will accomplish for you today. For the Egyptians whom you see today, you shall see again no more forever."
13節，摩西對百姓說：不要懼怕，只管站住，看神今天向你們所要施行的救恩，因為你們今天所看見的埃及人，必永遠不再看見了。
Verse 14.
14節，
The Lord will fight for you, and you shall hold your peace.
神必為你們爭戰，你們只管靜默，不要造聲。
So you find that, here Moses has demonstrated great faith in God.
喺呢度摩西對佢顯出對神呢種嘅大嘅信心。
He was able to save these people from the verge of death.
佢能夠嚟去將呢啲人從呢個死亡嘅邊緣嚟去拯救過
Or from the point of complete destruction.
或者喺呢個嘅完全被毀滅嘅呢個嘅邊緣嚟去拯救過嚟。
That's why you find that God saved them.
所以你發覺到呢個係神嚟去拯救佢哋嘅。
Sometimes in the church we need people like Moses.
有時候我哋喺教會裏邊，我哋需要有好似摩西咁嘅人物㗎。
Who truly care for the people and for the church.
嚟真正嘅嚟去關心神嘅家同埋神嘅教會㗎。
I want you to read Psalms.
我哋睇下呢個詩篇㗎。
We turn to Psalms 106.
我睇詩篇嘅106篇。
We turn to Psalms 106.
詩篇106篇。
Verse 23.
我睇23節。
Verse 22.
22節嘅。
Now, verse 22, wondrous works in the land of Ham, awesome things by the Red Sea.
24節，在含地行奇事，在紅海行可畏的事。
So we know that, yes, this is the power of God, but it's done through the hands of Moses.
我哋知道呢啲係神嘅作為，但係我哋知道呢個係藉着摩西嘅手行出嚟㗎。
We also know that after they have crossed the Red Sea, they continue to sin.
我哋知道當佢哋過咗紅海之後，佢哋繼續嚟去犯罪㗎。
Now, I want you to read verse 23.
我哋睇下23節。
Therefore he said that he would destroy them, had not Moses, his chosen one, stood before him in the bridge.
23節所以他說要滅絕他們，若非有他所揀選的摩西站在當中。
To turn away his wrath, lest he destroy them.
使他的憤怒轉消，恐怕他就滅絕他們。
Moses led them out of Egypt and crossed the Red Sea, and and he even preserved the life of some of the people in the desert.
摩西嚟去從埃及帶領佢哋出嚟過紅海甚至佢哋喺呢個曠野裏邊嚟去保守佢哋一啲人嘅性命。
So you can see the work of Moses here.
所以我哋喺呢度睇到摩西佢嘅作為㗎。
And now coming back to Exodus chapter 14.
咁我哋翻嚟到出埃及記嘅14章。
So you find that the Egyptian armies were destroyed, were drowned in the sea.
我哋知道呢啲埃及嘅兵丁們，佢哋喺呢個紅海中嚟滅亡嘅。
So according to the book of Psalms, it's like God opened a way for them in the sea.
就好似神喺呢個紅海中嚟去為佢哋開咗一條路嘅。
This way of escape actually cannot be found by anyone.
其實呢個逃走嘅路係冇人能夠去揾出嚟嘅。
But because of the faith of this Moses,
但係因為藉着摩西呢對神呢種嘅信心，
you find that God has done wonder.
我哋發覺神係行出呢個奇事㗎。
And so show this people the way which is in the sea.
你去向佢哋顯出呢條嘅道路喺呢個海裏邊。
That's why I think it's important for us to understand as well.
所以呢個係我哋需要嚟去明白到㗎。
If we want God to preserve the church, to save the church.
如果你想神嚟去保守教會、拯救呢個教會。
First we must be faithful.
首先我哋必須要嚟去對神忠心。
Sometimes we need to put aside all arguments.
我哋有時候必須要將一切呢啲嘅爭論嚟去放下。
And ask ourselves this question: Are we truly faithful to Him?
咁我哋就問我哋自己嘅問題我哋係咪對神真係有呢個誠實嘅咧
？Are we faithful to His words?
我哋係咪對佢嘅話語誠實嘅咧
？Do we truly have this love for the Church of God?
我哋對神嘅教會係咪真係有呢種嘅愛心咧
？If we show great faithfulness to God.
如果我哋對神有呢種誠懇嘅心
then I believe God will open a way for us.
我相信神係會為我哋開一條道路㗎。
This road, this way can only be found in the sea.
呢條路只係喺海裏邊先能夠尋找得到㗎。
So this is very important for us all to remember.
所以呢個係我哋需要嚟去謹記㗎。
Now when you look at another example.
咁我哋當你睇另外一個例子。
We talk about the captivity to Babylon.
我哋提到話呢個被擄去巴比倫嘅呢個事情。
This has been prophesied in the book of Deuteronomy.
呢個喺呢個嘅申命記已經被預言到啦。
So if the people of God have chosen not to obey Him and to worship idol, then God will raise up an army from the north to destroy them.
若果係神嘅選民，佢哋唔嚟去順從神嘅誡命嘅話，神係會喺呢個北方嚟去興起一隊嘅軍隊嚟去。
About 600 to 700 years later, this command of the Lord came to pass.
呢個事情喺600至700年後就發生啦。
Now, so the nation was like practically destroyed.
佢哋呢個國家差唔多全然被毀滅啦。
It's like many were captured.
佢哋好多人被擄啦。
We asked, did God save any of them?
咁我哋去問，究竟神有冇嚟去拯救佢哋其中嘅一啲人呢？
Yes, He did.
有㗎。
Like people like Daniel and his friends.
就好似呢個但以理同埋佢嘅三個朋友嗰啲。
And those who surrendered themselves to Babylon.
嗰啲嚟去向呢個嘅巴比倫投降嘅人。
Now you find that they were kept alive by God.
你發覺到神係嚟去保守佢哋，讓佢哋存活㗎。
So you find that throughout history, God has been helping His people.
所以你發覺到呢個按照呢個歷史，神係不斷緊嚟去拯救佢嘅選民。
So for God to help them, obviously there must be reason for God to help.
讓神嚟去幫助佢哋佢哋必須有呢個原因使到神會嚟去幫助佢。
So during the time of the captivity, there were also some godly people around.
喺呢個被擄嘅呢個嘅時候喺當時係有呢啲對神呢個嘅忠心嘅人㗎。
That's why you find that, yeah, you find that even though the nation, the country was destroyed, but a remnant was preserved.
雖然呢個國家被毀滅，但係佢哋呢啲餘民呢啲嘅餘剩嘅民係被嚟拯救㗎。
Now I want you to think about now we move into the apostolic church.
咁我哋嚟到呢個嘅使徒教會嘅時代。
Again, you find that God has preserved the church.
喺呢度再次嘅神係嚟去保守呢個教會嘅。
At least in the beginning, God has preserved the church.
喺最初嘅時候，神係嚟去保守呢個教會嘅。
So when the truth was kept.
所以當呢個真理被持守嘅時候。
So when the workers of God show faithfulness to God and to His word.
當神嘅工人嚟去對神有呢種嘅忠心，同埋對佢嘅工作有呢個忠心嘅時候。
Though they're faced with great persecution.
雖然佢哋面對呢個極大嘅呢個嘅逼迫。
The church continued to expand.
但我哋發覺到呢個教會仍然喺度嚟去興旺起嚟㗎。
So at least for the first how can I put it, the first century, okay, first 100 years.
喺呢個最先嘅100年呢段嘅時間。
You find that there were people who were very faithful to God.
你發覺到喺呢段時間呢度係有啲對神好忠心嘅人㗎。
And later on, because of heresies.
但係後來當呢個嘅異端進入嘅時候。
So you find the church became corrupt.
咁你發覺到呢個教會就開始嚟去敗壞。
So the Spirit left the church.
呢個聖靈亦都離開教會。
And we ask, where was the church then?
咁我哋嚟去問下，究竟嗰個教會後來點樣呢
？Did God preserve anyone for Himself?
咁神有冇為佢自己嚟去保守一啲人呢？
According to the book of Hebrews.
按照呢個希伯來書所記載嘅。
When the church on earth was destroyed, spiritually, I mean, when the church became corrupt.
當呢個地上呢個教會嚟去毀壞嘅時候。
Those who were saved.
嗰啲被拯救嘅。
You find that the church was in heaven.
佢哋嘅呢個教會係喺呢個天上嘅。
All right. So the church consists of a group of people who were saved.
呢個教會就係嚟去包括呢一班人係被拯救嘅。
We said during that period of time, the church of God was in heaven.
就喺呢一段時間，神嘅教會就喺呢個天上。
We also understand that after all the apostles had died.
我哋要明白到，當呢啲所有嘅使徒已經離世啦。
If you have time, you can look, you can search the history of the early church.
如果你有時間，你可以嚟去研究下呢個嘅早期嘅教會㗎。
Some people say from the year 500 to 1500 AD. 有人話喺主前嘅500至1500年呢段時間。主後嘅。 500 AD to 1500. 1500 AD.
之後嘅500年至到1500年呢段嘅時間。
Some people call this a period of time like the Dark Ages.
有人話呢段時間係呢個黑暗嘅時間。
The Christian of the Roman Church.
我哋知道呢個羅馬教會嘅羅馬基督教。
They became very powerful.
呢個羅馬天主教佢哋就好強大㗎。
You find that they burn up all the scriptures.
佢嚟去燒咗一切嘅呢個嘅聖經。
Any form of manuscript they will burn up.
呢啲所有嘅聖經嘅書籍佢哋
So during this period of time.
所以喺呢一段時間
，if you were an owner of any part of the scriptures，
如果你係呢個擁有呢個聖經嘅一部分嘅，
then not only they would would take the scriptures away from you and burn it.
唔單止佢將你個聖經攞去將佢燒咗，
They will burn it together. You burn you as well.
佢甚至將你都一齊嚟去燒埋。
So that's why they call this period the Dark Ages.
所以佢哋話稱呢一段時間係呢個黑暗嘅時間。
You may say, why did they do that?
你可能會問點解佢哋要咁樣去做咧？
Obviously, there are many reasons. Yeah?
當然佢係有好多原因嘅。
Now, one of the reasons is that, because the practices of the church in those days were not in accordance to the scriptures.
有一個原因就係話當時喺嗰個時代啲人所做嘅係唔合乎神嘅教訓㗎。
So if the church allowed the members to read the Bible, the scriptures,
所以如果喺教會係讓信徒嚟去讀呢個聖經，
very soon they will find out that the church has gone astray. It's not correct.
好容易㗎，好快嘅，佢哋就知道呢啲信徒已經係離開神嘅道啦。教會呢個教會已經離開神。
That's why later on we hear about this one, Martin Luther, the reformist came out to reform the church.
所以後來我哋知道呢個馬丁路德佢嚟去將呢個嚟去改教嘅。
Now the second reason is
另外一個原因就係
they believe in this. Yeah, if the members are less knowledgeable.
如果係呢啲信徒係冇咁有呢個知識嘅
then it is easier for the church to control them.
咁呢個教會係容易嚟去控制佢哋嘅。
These are the two main reasons why they wanted to destroy the Bible.
呢個就係另外嘅原因，佢哋點解要嚟去將呢個聖經嚟去毀滅啦
Now the point I'm making is this: even though they try very hard to destroy it.
我想嚟去講呢一點就係話，因為佢哋想嚟去做呢個毀滅。
Destroy the manuscript, the Old Testament scriptures, the New Testament scriptures.
佢哋將呢個舊約同埋新約呢個嘅聖經嚟去毀滅。
But God has His way to preserve His word.
但係神係有呢個方法嚟去保守佢嘅呢個嘅道嘅。
If we let's say that the Bible was destroyed in that period of time.
譬如話喺嗰段時間神嘅聖經已經被毀滅啦。
None of us could be saved today.
咁我哋在座嘅冇一個能夠得救嘅。
We are all doomed.
我哋已經係被滅亡啦。
You find that God preserved the word so that we can be saved.
我哋發覺到神係嚟保守佢嘅道，讓我哋能夠得救嘅。
This is the great work of God.
呢個就係神偉大嘅作為啦。
Even by looking at the history of the church, we can see the great work of God.
甚至嚟睇呢個教會嘅歷史，我哋係知道呢個就係神嘅呢個偉大嘅作為。
Not only that, not only they could not destroy the word.
唔單止佢哋唔能夠嚟去毀壞神嘅道。
You find that the Bible has been translated into many languages, practically every language in this world.
甚至呢個聖經被翻譯為世界各種唔同嘅語言嘅。
So this is how God preserve our life.
所以呢個就係神點樣嚟去保守我哋嘅性命。
God always has a way to preserve us.
神係有某一種嘅方法嚟去保守我哋嘅。
None of us could survive without the preservation of God.
我哋若果冇神嘅話嘅保守嘅話，我哋就唔能夠嚟去存活。
Even in our daily life.
甚至喺我哋每日嘅呢個生活當中
We could have sinned against God.
我哋好容易嚟去得罪神㗎。
We could have left God long time ago.
我哋可以或者喺好耐之前已經離開神啦。
Because God preserve us, that's why we are here today.
因為神嚟去保守我哋，所以今天我哋仍然喺呢度。
That's why each time when we kneel down to pray, we should give thanks to Him.
所以我哋每次跪低禱告嘅時候，我哋應該嚟去向佢嚟去作出呢個感恩㗎。
Honestly, none of us is worthy, even to be saved.
其實我哋每一個人係都不配嚟去被拯救嘅。
You find that actually David understood this very well.
我哋發覺到大衛佢係好清楚呢一點㗎。
And he knew that God is the one who helped their soul to escape.
佢明白到神係嚟去讓佢嘅呢個靈魂能夠嚟去得救㗎。
I want you to come back to chapter 1 to 4.
我哋翻嚟呢個詩篇嘅124篇㗎。
We look at verse 7.
我睇第7節。
Psalms 124 verse 7.
詩篇嘅124篇嘅第7節。
Our soul has escaped as a bird from the snare of the fowler. The snare is broken and we have escaped.
佢話我哋好像呢個嘅雀鳥從捕鳥人嘅網羅裏逃脫。
We ask, how is the snare broken, for example?
譬如我哋話呢個嘅網羅點樣嚟去破裂咧
？Obviously, God must have caused it to break up.
當然係神嚟去讓佢嚟去破裂。
So that we can escape.
讓我哋能夠逃脫啦。
So when we come back, I'm going to talk more about the book of Revelations in relation to this chapter.
咁我哋陣間翻嚟，我哋會嚟去用呢個啟示錄嚟去講到呢一卷書嘅前程嘅。
Let's say a silent prayer.
我哋一同你默禱。
Amen.
Amen.
10 minutes.
我哋休息10分鐘。